When JFK delivered his inaugural address, we were staring down the barrel of the Soviet Union's growing nuclear arsenal. Cuba was hostile and antagonistic just 90 miles south of Florida. The Berlin Wall divided the capital of the German people, half in the west, the other half in the east, under the iron fist of Nikita Khrushchev and the communists. Democrats didn't call America names or accuse her people of being victims or oppressors. We knew exactly who we were, no matter which side of the political aisle we stood on. We were Americans, proud Americans, willing to fight and die for this nation. Black and white, rich and poor, from all backgrounds and all walks of life. JFK pointed out how few in human history had the God-given opportunity to fight for the freedom of all men and all women, and the honor of doing so was quite special. Listen to this.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Pay any price, bear any burden, to guarantee the survival of liberty. Hearing that is, to me, truly remarkable. I mean, honestly, I can barely remember when the Democrats were insulting someone or some group of Americans while screaming racism or some other cheap smear job, just because they don't agree with the other person's point of view. There was a time when they could still tell the difference between a man and a woman, and more importantly, there was a time when they could still tell the difference between right and wrong. Sadly, today, those on the left have turned victimhood into an industry to harvest hundreds of millions and, well, sometimes billions of dollars, and harvest votes with taxpayers' money at the same time. It's all about power and control, and it appears more often the destruction of freedom, the freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, the right to think whatever you want to think, and to worship freely. All of these foundational principles are now in jeopardy in this country. That's not the world JFK was looking at as he addressed the crowd on a cold, clear January 20th, 1961. He was looking at the awesome responsibility he had been given, and in fact, all Americans had been given by those that had gone before. Many who were then and still are interred at Arlington National Cemetery. The 35th president could not conceive that he would join them in our nation's most sacred ground less than 3 years later.